Upgrade complete.
Alright, YouTubers, let's get to the deciding set on Heartbreak Ridge. That is the third map in the pool. They just have the 3 maps at the moment, but they're going to add a 4th one by the time the round of 16 rolls around. And that 4th map will probably be one from the set of the new Pro League maps. Whichever map they decide is the best, most balanced map, they'll add that to the pool. So I'd say we got a pretty good map pool this OSL, because I like Heartbreak Ridge. I mean, it's not exactly the most balanced map in the world, but yeah, that with El Nino and Eye of the Storm, they look to be a very, very nice set of maps. But anyways, oh man, I'm getting excited because really, if either of these guys moves up into the round of 16, I'm going to be happy because I'm a bigger Canata fan now. But Pusan, old school Protoss action in the round of 16. Now that would be cool. But anyways, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a 2-player map. It was around last season, so hopefully it won't be like Return of the King, though. Stick around for a million seasons until everyone gets sick of it. But okay, Canata is over here in brown at the 4 o'clock position, and over at the 9 o'clock in beige is Pusan. Actually, that's white. Whatever, beige, white. 2 of the closest colors, so I get them mixed up very, very, very often. But yeah, Pusan, I think he's not as good of a player as Canata right now, even though both these guys have been around for about the same amount of time. I mean, the last time they faced off against each other was in 2006, so that should give you a good idea of just how long these guys have been around. But Canata, the only difference is Canata has really been keeping up his level of play. He's bumped his level of play up, especially in the last couple of seasons, to be something really special. He's risen himself to the level of a player that I say could win this OSL. Canata could win. He really could if he manages to get by Pusan here. But Pusan just hasn't really shown me that same level, even though he's been on such a ridiculous streak of games that was just recently broken in the first game of this series. But yeah, he's been doing well too, but still just hasn't really proven that to me yet. Here's the barracks coming up at kind of a weird position for Canata, so it looks like he's going to try to hide that from Pusan, maybe try to get him to think that there is a barracks hidden somewhere else on the map. But yeah, Pusan, he's kind of a, well, I don't want to say strange player. He's just kind of a mysterious player. We don't know much about him because he just hasn't really done much recently. He doesn't, for the amount of time he's been around, he really doesn't have a lot of games under his belt. I mean, he has, I'd say about 200 maybe, but he's been around a very, very long time. But yes. Pusan, I'd say, if I were to make a, like my video, Broodling Bloodlines, if I were to make a video like that about Protoss players, I'd equate Pusan to Bisu, because I'd say Pusan really was Bisu's mentor back when he was on NBC, the NBC team. Back when July was on that team as well. That used to be a killer team before both those guys left, and now NBC is kind of a shadow of its former self, even though they do have some great players like Light and C, and yes, they still have some great players, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to sneak into this round of 16 with any of them. There's the first Zealot coming out for Pusan. He seems to be going for pretty much the same strategy in all these games, sending out the early Zealot to get some pressure and make sure that Canata stays inside of his base and doesn't try anything sneaky. Dragoon range coming up for Pusan already. He's going to get out a Dragoon to try to get rid of that Scout. The Dragoon range will definitely help get rid of Scouts. That will help Pusan out in mid-game when Canata won't want to waste scans on scanning the main or anything like that. A couple Marines coming out, and Canata is going to try to get the right micro. Ooh, very nice micro from Canata, although he does lose one Marine. He probably could have kept that alive, but he was able to pick down that Zealot quite a bit. Oh, does take the Zealot down. This is looking a lot like the last game, except this time the Zealot went down. So it's already a disadvantage for Pusan there. Both these guys seem to be sticking to their guns. They're both going for very, very similar things. But Pusan is going very, very aggressive play. He's going to have to micro his butt off to fight off this many Marines with one goon, but he does have a Dragoon and he does have range coming up, so he will be able to pick off this force if Canata isn't careful. You see, yes, Pusan was trying to pick off that one Marine that was the most damaged, so he's definitely keeping up with his micro. And Canata's still pumping Marines. He's going to get about 6 or 7 Marines out, I think. Oh, the Dragoon range is not up yet, so never mind. I thought it was up, but it will be up shortly, and that will definitely help fight off this Marine force. And I'm still not sure if Pusan knows about the barracks that is up on the ledge. He might just assume that the barracks is inside the main, and that could hurt him if Canata should try to do some kind of a surround on those Dragoons. First tank coming out, so that's going to fend these Dragoons off because Pusan hasn't been just sending in non-stop aggressive Dragoons. He's decided to save up some minerals for that Nexus. And here comes the mines being upgraded for Canata. He's going to try a very similar thing since he has so many Marines here. I think this will definitely help him to get that contained. If he works with the tanks, protects the tanks with those Marines, I think he will be able to get this done. But still, some very aggressive play from Pusan. He's trying to pick down that Marine troop, and he's probably going to be able to do it here. Picks off one, picks off 2 Marines,